Alright guys, I figured out in the previous video why it wasn't working. I'll hit play again one more time and remind you what happened. I hit E, and only the most recently added light, or the one light only, went off. I found it not on ChatGPT, but on Google. And it said that on your light blueprint, your E key, that this enable input and disable inputs are mostly used for UI stuff, for HUD stuff like menus and inventory. So it's kind of a hack to use this enable and disable input, but it is a hack that's used in the learning kit with the Castle game. So we're gonna keep going with this. I'll just show you. If you click on the E key pressed, there's this thing that says consume input. This is so that you don't send E pressed to 100 things in your level. Well, we're gonna uncheck that so it's false now. And if I save it and go hit play again, it turns the lights off for all of them. Okay, so the input E was not consumed, it was passed on or propagated, sent on. And you're like, well, that just made the game worse. You just turned all the lights off, and you could do that anywhere in your level. So let's go make it distance-based, okay? I am going to go turn the consume input. The only time this matters is if you have two lights on top of each other, or if you had like a sword pickup right next to or inside the same distance as a light or something like that. So I don't know, maybe we'll leave it off, consume input. It won't matter unless you have a special case. So either way, here we go. Can you tell me what's coming next? This turns the lights off, all the lights off. We need to be able to turn them back on. Let's do that next. That'll be a little more fun to turn the lights back on, okay? So I want you to pause this video for a second and think, what code, I could hook it up to the letter F, but I just want you to give me the code that turns all the lights on. Okay, so remember the E turning them off was get the point light component for this particular blueprint and set it to 0. Well, hopefully you got it. If you didn't pause, I'm sorry. I'm going to hit Control D, or can I copy paste, Control C, Control V? Yeah, I can copy and paste. And I'm going to set the intensity of a light to, I think the default is 5,000. And the question is, what do I do with this? Like, I could hook it up to a different key. I can't. Oh, I could hook it up to released. I like that. Let's try it. I got to do this. You don't do this. I just want to show you. Okay. Press the E. Let go. E, on, off, on, off. I love it. Okay. That's not what we want. Sorry. I just had to do it. There's a cool node called flip-flop. Okay. And I'll just explain you real quick. If we were doing real programming, we'd use a branch. A branch is a weird thing in Unreal. It's usually called if-else in almost every other language, like Scratch, Python, C++, C#, JavaScript. It's always if-else, except for some reason in Unreal. They call it branch. So I have some node coming in here, some, flow coming in here, and I can hook it up to true and false, and I'd have to make a little variable called a Boolean that would say, if the light's off, then turn it on. And if the light's on, turn it off. And that's a fun programming exercise, but we're actually going to avoid adding an on, is on or is off Boolean variable to this. We are going to use a node called flip-flop. So if you right click and type flip and come down and see this little icon, I'm going to hover over it. Alternates between A and B outputs, starting with A. This does all of the thing I just described, alternating between a true and false Boolean inside of a node. Okay, so now I'm going to add the branch after that. So long story short, every time a flip-flop gets run, every time I hit the E key, it's going to first do A, then B, then A, then B. There's a little thing here that will reset it back to A, I think. Asks if it's A or not. So here we go. This branch is going to be, oh no, I don't need a branch, sorry. It's just going to go A and B. The flip-flop avoids the branch. It has a built-in branch. A and B. Now, what is it? The first time I press E, do the lights go on? No, they should go off. Sorry. So I'm going to crisscross these, or I should flip them, but you do it however you want. Compile. Play. E. 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 Sweet stuff, okay? We're getting closer. Now, obviously what we want is only the light that we're closest to. Can you think of a way to only do this stuff if we're close enough? Leave it alone. Leave the lights alone unless we're close enough. Don't even flip-flop. Well, we're going to make some space here. Come out here. And we'll probably need to do... no, that's good. This is good. Okay. Well, hopefully you came up with a solution. We've done this on our coins if you've done a coin pickup. If not, this will be your first one. But we're going to go... what is it? Collision. I'm going to type C-O-L-L for collision. It's down on the collision menu. And I think for this shape object, we're going to do a sphere again. And I need to go to the viewport because I have no idea what this looks like. I don't like that it's called sphere, the same as this. I'm going to go rename this. Click a few times, double click, triple click. Nope, I have to come over. There we go. I'm going to call this sphere collision because I want to remind myself that this sphere is the light bulb and this sphere is the collision, okay? So, what do we do with it? Well, right now it's down at the base. Probably doesn't matter exactly where this goes. It needs to be a child of something in here, but we're not going to make it attached to other objects. Remember, if you want to be independent of everything else, it should be, and already is, attached to the root, which used to be default scene root or something, but now it's scene. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. That made it wrong. Okay, so this collider is not big enough. I'm going to get my scale tool, or QWER. I'm going to hit R on the keyboard for the scale tool and make sure that this size is close enough to the light, okay, that I'm pretty darn close to it to be able to do it. There's better ways. Later on we'll do a line trace that if we're aimed our camera or our player at it, that we can interact with it. But for now, this is the easiest way, I think, for beginners to understand how to do a simple interaction system. So we are done with that sphere collision. I'm going to come back here, and you remember what to do with it? Well, we got this event actor begin overlap already there. I'm also going to right click and type actor begin end overlap, right? Opposite of begin overlap. I want both of those. Okay, what are these going to do? Well, I need to, on begin play, enable inputs for the light, meaning the E key does something, but I'm going to enable and disable it based on my distance. So let's go do this. If you want, you can drag and copy and paste these. Control C, these two blocks. I just dragged a box over them. Come down here at Control V. Otherwise, you can type them out again if you want. I'm going to delete the tick node. We don't need that. Well, what happens when I overlap this sphere? I want to enable it. Yeah, I want to be able to interact with it. So what is the other one going to do? I'm going to right click and type disable, the opposite of enable input, disable input. And I'm going to use the same component, same player controller, sorry, not that. We need to snip this. Hold Alt if you did what I just did, or right click and break nodes if you need to. And now what? If I end my overlap, meaning I leave the collision sphere, well, disable the input. So enable it when you get close enough and disable it when you leave. Now remember, if you have a 2-player, 3-player, 4-player game, you'll need to add more of these. Get player controller 1, 2, 3, and probably have a new block for each of those, a new enable and disable input block for each of those. I'm going to hit play, and I think it's not going to work like I want. I'm going to go, yeah, I know it's not. Check this out. The first time I hit E, they all turn off, and now I hit E from here, and they all work. Why? Well, my default was, notice that when I leave now, that one that I just entered that sphere, that middle one right there, the blue light straight ahead, that one's not going off and on anymore unless I get close enough. And it's the opposite of the others. That's pretty cool. What did I do wrong? Can you tell me? I'm going to zoom out a bit. That's too hard to see all the code. We're getting a lot of code. It's all the same code, though. Let's put a block around everything. I'm going to drag a box and hit C. I'll call this flip, flop, intensity. I'm going to say E key. These two blocks. Input, overlap. If I overlap begin or end, it enables and disables the input. You can call these something else if you have a better name for them. And I just lost track of it. There we go. I can't move this box very good, sorry. Oh, wow, this is painful. I had to widen this, and I accidentally clicked the point light on, and I had to hold control to get things selected I didn't want. Anyways, I finally got it fixed. The last one up here, can you see that when the game started, when I hit the play button, the green play button, at the top. It enabled input for all those lights. You know what? We don't even need this block anymore because our begin play default, we want them to be disabled for input, which is the default behavior. Let's go hit play again and hit E a few times. Now only if I get close enough. I've left that sphere, and you know what? Just for your benefit, I'm going to put a little print here. I'm going to print hello when I begin overlap, and I'm going to print. You don't have to do this. I'm going to print goodbye, or just bye when I leave the overlap. One last time, what am I overlapping? The collision sphere we added right here, the red ball, orange when it's selected. But yeah, we're kind of petering out here, but let's go walk into a sphere, and this one just said hello to us, E, 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 E. This one just said hello to us, E, E, E. Now, if I go between two, if I make it the right distance, two that are really close together, let's go see if I can add these two. I should be in each of their spheres, E, E, E. They both go on and off. If I come over here, E, 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 E. Oh, now they're alternating. And now just this one, E, E, E. Okay. And why does it let me do both of them at the same time in the middle here? Because on that E key right here, I did the unchecked consume input. So the input is not consumed. I can hit E on multiple objects. Please remember, this is a hack. This isn't the best way to do interactions, and I'll show you a door and a better way to do interactions in the next video. But I like this so far. It's a good start. We'll see you in